Welcome back, everyone, to the 2023-2024 season of the Bowling Promotion Tour. Continuing today with our Team Baker competition. We saw Team Sirius face Team Mercury in our first quarterfinal, and today it will be Team Orion facing Team Vega in our second quarterfinal, with the winner to face the world's team for the right to bowl in the title match. Let's look at our lineups for today. It is Karen Kiergaard Nielsen from Denmark, the 18-year-old twin of Sophie, Anthony Trigodet, Carole Orange, and Gerald Danson. Over on the Team Vega side, we do have Gaetan Carew, Casper McLeod, Veronique Segur, and Ian Kennedy, the Englishman. And here we are with the Baker competition, and the way this works is we have 4 team members. 2 of the team members will bowl 2 frames, and 2 of them will bowl 3 frames to add up to our 10 frames in the match. It will be Team Vega on the left lane kicking things off, and this is Gaetan Carew. An interesting story with this gentleman who's got a bicep injury that he's been battling, and he makes a pretty good shot to kick things off to come up a little bit high for a 4-pin. And he's been having electrode treatments, and he's had massages and all kinds of ways to try to deal with that torn bicep that he's been battling throughout this competition, and made a pretty good shot there to kick things off. Carew, of course, did break Monica Nielsen's 3-game winning streak in the Masters stepladder, and here he gets a little bit slow, gets to the left of the 4-pin, but does make the conversion. So we'll kick things off with a spare by Team Vega, and watch how he lifts up on it a little bit. I think he meant to follow through with that hang on, but it does hang on just enough to carry that 4-pin. Now our first look at Karen Kiergaard Nielsen from Denmark, and she is the left-handed version of these 2 twins, Sophie. And there's a beautiful stroke and a beautiful shot with reactive resin. Comes up to the pocket, kicks the 7, and a perfect start for Karen for her Team Orion. As we mentioned, we'll be bringing you quarterfinal action here today. After this, it will be semifinal action, 2 matches there, and then we'll have the title match. It will be 5 Baker team matches altogether we'll be bringing you, and you can see that 7-pin trip out there by the 4-pin doing its job, jumping in the channel and kicking out the 7. So thank you very much for that. And now we'll stay with Team Orion. It's Vega starts with 1 frame, and then Orion will bowl 2, and then we'll alternate 2 until we get to the 10th. This is Anthony Trigodet, the left-hander, and it looks like he's throwing a shiny, what looks like an IQ Tour there. Let's see how he plays this gateway arch oil pattern. And he gets it down the lane, and it goes through the break point. Does not quite make the turn, so cannot capitalize on the strike in the first frame by Karen, leaving just the 3-pin. And let's see where this crosses. That's right around the 12 board. So again, we are on the gateway arch oil pattern. You see how it goes straight through the oil. The oil does get quite a bit more in volume as you get inside the second arrow, and there's less outside the second arrow. So he got that right down the 12 board pretty straight. Didn't get it out to the dry. That's why the ball did not make the turn to get back to the pocket. So fairly straightforward 3-pin conversion here for Trigodet, and no problem on that. So it will be 20 in the first for Team Orion. And now over on the Team Vega side, we'll get our first look at Casper McLeod. And again, we have quite a varying ages and different players here. This match, in our first match, our high age person was only 26 years of age. Here we have a couple of really accomplished seniors bowling with us, so it just goes to show all the different ages that can play this game. And here is McLeod, straight up the track and right to the, goes high and leaves the 6-10, and that will leave them with 18 in the first, down 2 pins. You can see that's definitely inside of target. It gets to the left of the second arrow and right through the beak for the 6-10 conversion. And Anthony Casper will switch to his plastic ball over on the left side and go after the 6-10 conversion, and no problem there with the spare. So 1 strike through 4 attempts so far for these Baker teams. And here we'll get our first look at Veronique Sigur. We have seen Veronique in previous seasons of the Bowling Promotion Tour. Shout out to Bruno Bidone, our most excellent host and promoter of these matches. And this is an IQ tour in Veronique's hands. And you can see she's got the instep approach here, right out in the dry, and work it up the pocket and gets the mixer, gets the 5 into the 4-pin. And there's a strike for Veronique to get Team Vega's first strike on the board. You can see the ball rotating. Come on. Just enough power to get out that 5 and kicks it over. And then the 4-7 go out as well. So there's the first strike on the Vega side. And now back on Team Orion, we will move over to Carole Orange, 66-year-old English woman, member of the English senior team. And let's see how Carole addresses this gateway arch oil pattern. You can see that's a paradox she has in her hand there, a fairly aggressive ball. And that's right up the second arrow, straight at the pocket, and oh, what a terrible break. Leaves a beautiful smash 7, hits the pocket perfectly, just a touch high, but a legitimate tap there. And look at the line position, very solid. Straight up the lane, right at the pocket. She's like, give it. Oh, no luck there with the head pin going to the sideboard and just jumping in front of that 7-pin. Really not a lot of love there, leaving us with a 1-pin match right now through the third frame. And Carole going straight at this 7-pin. Don't hook, and it does, and unfortunately leaves them open. And sorry what I said about the even match. That's going to leave the Orion team down 10, just with Vega sitting on the bench taking the lead. Now our first look at Gerald Dancin. He won 3 events in 2023 around the French region. And let's see how he goes after this gateway arch oil pattern. Again, right around the track area, both on the left and the right side. The oil drops off outside the 10 board. And another lefty here, pretty far outside, turning up the lane and gets the mixer. Oh, wow. Gets the 5-10 mixer to go. And that was an important strike to get Orion back within striking distance of the lead. And you can see that's right down the 8th board maybe. Picks up the dry, turns up, give me the mixer, and that's 2 mixers we've seen carry now on this oil pattern. And now we have Ian Kennedy, 74 years young Englishman. It just goes to show that all ages can still be competitive in this game. And that's outside to the dry, turn up. Oh, that went right through the break point. Not a lot of hope there to get back to the pocket. He's going to have to make a move off that, I think. If he kind of dropped that, just couldn't get any turn on it, and definitely did not react off the dry to leave the 1-2-4. And Ian will have to move right and go straight at this spare. And right at it, to the right, and comes up, and that's what he needed to hit the pocket. It's enough to make the spare, but barely. So I think he just found maybe his strike line there with that adjustment. So now we'll go back around the horn, back to Gaetan Carew, who left a 4-pin his first time up. No doubles yet. 1 open on the Team Orion side, which leaves them down by 10 pins as we move into the 5th frame. Again, this is Team Baker competition. We'll have 5 matches for you. The winner of this match facing the World's team. And there's Gaetan again. That looks left. Yeah, he definitely is feeling perhaps the effects of that bicep injury. He could not stroke through that shot. He comes up short, and it hooks early and goes cross over to the Brooklyn side, giving him just the 10-pin, luckily. And now he'll go cross lane at the 10-pin with his white dot. You can see the WD there, plastic ball. And right at the 10-pin and makes it. Good shot there. And leaving the Vega team up by 9, but can Karen step up and double here and give the Orion team the lead back? And some of the youth here have such beautiful games. Great fundamentals, great line positions, well coached, and clearly evident here in the Kierkegaard twins. And another nice stroke, gets way out to the dry. Turn up, gets the mixer, but won't carry. Leaves the 10 pin. That was a little bit left of target, but it did try to recover. Let's watch where this covers here. Goes right around the 9th board, out to about 4. It's not super dry out there. It's basically flat. There's less oil, but it's pretty much flat out to the gutter outside of the 8th or 9th board on this gateway arch pattern. And there's cross lane to the 10 pin, no problem, but it's still going to leave them down by 9. And we come back now to Anthony Trigaudet, the Frenchman. And Trigaudet went light his first shot up to a 3 pin. We will be resuming the Masters stepladder, and we'll complete the mixed doubles competition coming up on the same YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody here. We have 30,000 subscribers now for our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. And if you haven't clicked like and subscribe, please do so as we watch a bowling center employee clear this deadwood. And that would have been the 10 pin that Karen kicked out as she made that 10 pin spare. And no problem there. A little bit of bowling center business we had to do before we can get going again here with the match. And now Trigaudet, what adjustment will he make off that 3 pin? And as I said, can't say enough about Bruno Bidone. He and Helene Parker are your French commentators for these matches. My name's Bruce Hall. I'm your international commentator. And I think he did definitely move left with his feet, goes straight up at the pocket, and comes up with a 6 pin. And that will bring their lead down to 10 now. And thought it was a good shot. He went left, went straight up the lane, and unfortunately did not lay off on the pocket enough to give him the strike. So here is Trigaudet going cross lane with the strike ball at the 6 pin, and no problem there. So we're kind of nibbling around the pocket here. Just 3 strikes in 11 attempts here so far on this gateway arch oil pattern. We are at Bowling Sphere in Fontaine, Comte, a beautiful town about 200 miles southwest of Paris. And we visited 3 other locations in the qualifying here. All the bowlers bowled 18 games of qualifying. We also had team competition qualifying to create our top 6 seeds for the teams. And how about a week 10 there? That's for Casper McLeod. And he comes up and went high the first time, left a 6-10. This time makes a better shot. It's at the pocket, holding pocket, but you can see the ball deflect to the right, and you can see the 6 pin drop in the channel, leaving the weak 10. And once again, we are at a 9 pin lead. And there's and he flags the 10 pin. Unfortunately, that's a rare miss. In these matches, we have seen very few unforced errors on missed spares. We actually saw a couple of spares missed on the left side in our first match, and we just saw a missed 10 pin there. Now here is Segura, who struck on her first shot. And can she repeat the feat? Yeah, it looks like a carbon copy of the first one, but this one comes up a little bit light and leaving the 2 pin. That will be Veronique's last shot in the match. And come on, turn, come on, make your turn. And it starts to come up the hill just a little bit late, carries out everything but the 2 pin. Actually, with that miss, it did give Team Orion the lead by 2. And now Veronique is going to just clip that 2-pin. She got a little bit left, so that's Carew almost missed the 4-pin, and Veronique just does clip the 2-pin for the spare. So here we go. Here's Orange up again, and she struck her first time. Let's see what she can do here. Oh no, she left that smash 7 her first shot. A perfect shot to the pocket. And let's see how she does here. Unfortunately, she then missed the spare. And let's see what she does here. We'll take the same shot again, if you don't mind. And a good release. And that looks a little left. And it is, and through the beak. And now that's going to give Vega the lead back by 1 pin. So we have 105 to 104 in the 6th here. Very close match. He fell off that one a little bit, just didn't quite stay through it and get it down the lane, and leaves the 3-6-10 combination. And now we'll go, presumably she's going to stay with her strike ball. There's varying ways to go after this spare. Some people take their plastic ball and throw at it and hope. Some people stay with their strike ball. For me, it actually depends on the pattern. If it's a very difficult pattern, I'll throw my plastic ball at it. But if it's a predictable wet dry pattern, I'll throw my strike ball at it. And she does execute the perfect conversion of the 3-6-10, and we now have a 1-pin match in the 6th frame. And here we go into the 7th with Danson, the lefty, and let's see what he can do here. And Danson spared his first time up. And yeah, straight at the lane, and he came up a little light his first time for a 3-pin. This time he's light again, but he does a mixer. Leaves the 5-pin, making it now a 2-pin match. We're really nibbling around the pocket here. Neither team can really break out. Have not seen a double yet. Come on, get up, and takes out the 6-10, luckily, to leave just the 5-pin. And let's see if folks' hands are up. As we saw in the last match, a couple of folks had their hands up. There's Veronique's hands up. If he were to miss this spare, Veronique will get a drink bought for her. And there's some hands up. There we go. No problem on the 5-pin there. And makes the spare. So both teams pacing to the 180s right now. And look at this 5-pin conversion. No problem straight up the lane. And he says, there you go. I'm not buying you a drink. So there we are. And now you can see the 74-year young Ian Kennedy with the redux of the Rhino Pro, a very popular ball in the day. And unfortunately, that's the 2nd shot in a row. He comes up light on the right side, leaving the 1-2-4-8 for Team Vega. And that'll put them down by 1. So we're really nipping and tucking around the lead here with both teams in the low 180s. And no one able to break out. We've only had 3 strikes in the match so far. And last time he moved right to make the spare and hit the pocket. This time he covers it perfectly. So good cover there by Mr. Kennedy. And now moving on to the 9th and 10th, it will be Gaetan Carew with his 3rd shot. Let's see what he does here. He's been struggling to get some momentum on the shot. Let's see what he does here. It looks like an ocean vibe he's got there in his hands. And let's see what he does here. That looks like a pretty good shot through the pocket. Gets up high. Oh, my Lord. Not just the 4-pin, but the 4-9. And no luck at all there for Carew. And we will have the Sirius team versus the Comets coming up on our next match on this YouTube channel. So looking forward to that. And here is Carew trying for the 4-9. Unfortunately, he takes out the 9. So that's going to move his team down to 178 possible with a double in the 10th. And pacing to 168 with the Orion team pacing to 183. So Orion with a comfortable lead here, and 2 marks will get it done because they did have the advantage of count. And here is Karen's third shot. Got it out to the dry. Doesn't make the corner. Oh, what a lucky break to tap the 3-pin out at the last second. Looking like she was going to give that advantage right back to the Vega team, but she does get the ball up. Oh, give me some help. Give me some help. And it does just tap out the 3-pin to keep their lead intact. And if she could make this, and then Trigode get a mark, and she does mark. Good cover of the 7-pin. Always a challenge for lefty, as I can attest to. And now it's Trigode with ball in hand. He just needs a mark to get to the 180s. He can shut out the Vega team with a maximum of 178. And he's been light. He's been light, then he's been high. So let's see what Anthony does here. Ball's not hooking a lot. He's got to stay left, use that dry outside of 10, and get the ball to turn up. 5 consecutive spares now for the Orion team. And biggest shot of the match right here. Gets it a little bit right and through the beak, but only leaves the 4-pin. So fortunate break there. So he needs to make this and get 8 to lock up the match. And that's going to be, again, down the 12 board. He did that before. Down the 12 board, the ball went straight. That one he got a little bit more of a mittful around it. Got a little bit of hook on it, so it went through the beak there. Now, can he convert the 4-pin and get 8 and lock up this match? And no problem on the 4-pin. Good conversion there. And now it's 8 to win, to shoot 179, and that will lock up the match because Team Vega's max is 178. Again, not a high-scoring match, but a very competitive one. We've been within a few pins almost the entire match until that unfortunate 4-9 by Carew in his last shot, which gave Orion the advantage. 8 to win. Here we go. And that's a pretty good-looking shot right at the pocket, and there's a perfect strike. That's the way to get 8. And that's going to lock it up for Team Orion, and they will move on to meet the Worlds team in the semifinal. The winner of that match moves on to the final match. Again, 5 Baker matches we're bringing you, and we will just watch McLeod bowl it out here. Unfortunately, there's nothing he can do. Even if he doubles, it's the 170s, and it's going to be losing effort for Team Vega. And of course, he does strike. Now the strikes are coming. Now that we're towards the end of the match, people getting lined up. And again, my name is Bruce Hall, and it's my pleasure to be your international commentator for these matches. Hit like and subscribe, and if you want to be part of the 2024-25 season of the Bowling Promotion Tour, check out the Bowling Promotion website. That tour happens in the second 2 weeks of September each year, and you could be part of it, touring France, participating in the qualifying, being part of the mixed doubles, part of the team competition. Just a wonderful experience. And gets up, blows the rack for the second strike in the 10th, and it is going to bring this match within just a few pins. And why not? It was nip and tuck the entire way. And so it's going to look like a closer victory, but Orion did lock it up in the 10th. So once again, shout out to my friend Bruno Bidone. And we'll be bringing you more of these matches. And again, as we said, we'll be back to the Master Step Ladder. We'll have more mixed doubles action for you and more on this YouTube channel. And here's the last shot of the match. Gets up the lane, leaves a 2-10, which will put them at 1-7-6. So it's going to be a 5-pin victory for Team Orion. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you next time when the Sirius team takes on Team Comets. And we'll see you then.